Ineos, for us, was a team with a lot of potentials, but with a lot of problems. A lot of time in the shed, and a lot of time when they were sailing, they were not capitalizing a lot of hours in the water.
Let's go a bit further. Yeah, pitch shots. Yeah, yours.
A team with a very strong potential, a great budget, great sailors, a lot of good technicians, but with problems.
Right here, guys. It's probably going to be touch and go. Copy that. Board down. Okay, awesome. Right ahead.
We've got to get better. We've got a great team, and we're going to fight hard. We're not going to give up in any of this, and I think we should expect some more close races to come.
American Magic, on the contrary, had been the team with most of the hours in the water.
2, 1, down.
So we knew that they were a solid team, and when they show up here with boat 2, and they were showing also a lot of speed, we were very worried about that team. I think even if we're just 3 teams, it was going to be a very hard series for us.
I think Patriot's a good boat all the way through the range, so our approach and mentality is just to stay consistent, stay true to the process that we have racing the boat, and allow that to happen.
Whoa! Skidding sideways, skidding hard sideways.
Nobody wants to lose, but this is a sport, and it's not about how you lose, it's about how you react.
Smooth as silk today for the Italians. The Italians swept the Americans away. Form, momentum, confidence was on their side. They were about to let the sailing world know they'd come of age.
Now Ineos, boys.
We are sniffing revenge on Ineos.
Well, it's payback time. We are those British guys from the round robins.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli had spent 21 years chasing the America's Cup. They wanted the Prada Cup, the silverware that bore their name, and they weren't about to let anyone ruin the party.
Luna Rossa in command from the go. Race 8, Prada Cup final. Once Luna Rossa gets away, they just tend to extend.
We are 1 length ahead us.
He's got options for this riding across at the moment.
Copy that.
Keep it ever so slightly.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli went into the Prada Cup final as underdogs and ended up sailing like champions.
Luna Rossa will make the match and be the official challenger for the America's Cup and take on Emirates Team New Zealand.
They swept away Ineos Team UK, won the Prada Cup, and were determined to secure a place in sporting folklore against Emirates Team New Zealand.
Yeah, now you're really seeing the Italian emotion and passion of trying to get them to hold it in until we got to this point. But now, good to see it.
The right challenger definitely got through. They just got smooth and better and fast enough.
And a lot of you guys sitting in this room were writing us off, talking up a lot of people, but us. But we've got a lot of work to go. The main event's starting.
So here we go, the match, race 1. The first to 7 race wins will hold the old mug aloft. A lot of speculation that the challengers, Luna Rossa, might be a little more race hardened and ready for this type of action, but here we go. Now we get to find out.
Luna Rossa had a really good chance. Considering what we all thought and how they might have been off the pace, the conditions fell into their lap, really. They motored that boat for sub 10 knots. Pretty good decision when you look at the averages for March. It's generally lighter. And that week of light northeasters that we had just could not have suited Luna Rossa any better.
Race 1 of the 36th America's Cup match. No more secrets, it's all out in the open.
Stephen, this is the moment that every America's Cup cycle waits for anxiously. That first lineup, give the first bit of the advantage to the Emirates Team New Zealand, but it's speed and pace.
Actually, could be a little off here. We flag this, Keko?
Yes.
Big bill.
It's a very aggressive move there from Luna Rossa, going for the luff, really trying to get a penalty there.
On a day of light and inconsistent winds, the two teams' performances followed suit.
My first inclination here is this is not a runaway train for the Kiwis right now.
Happy to go straight in, Pete, you are? Yeah, for sure.
Peter Burling's men in black drew first blood.
And Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, get first points in the opening race of the match for the 36th America's Cup. And we're a go on race number 2 of the match.
Jimmy Spithill called that, let's match right away. So he's right smack into match race mode.
Yeah, sure.
But a slick Italian team bounced back and drew level on day 1.
That's a good one, Jimmy. Nice one. We can do this.
When we won our first race and the score was 1-1, I went back and I was almost shaking. I said, oh, this is really possible. People would say that we would have lost by minutes, that Team New Zealand was gonna go like 55 knots around the course. And until that day, we didn't know. And we came back with a 1-1 on conditions that should have been an easy win for Team New Zealand. I was almost shaking. I was like, wow, we can really maybe win the cup. And just having one chance of winning for me was a big thing.
Alarm clocks just went off all over Italy. Get out of bed and let's watch some sailboat racing.
We are go. Race 3 of the match in the 36th America's Cup. Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli carrying on from race number 2, and they will lead Emirates Team New Zealand around the mark.
Come on, boys. Well done.
Yeah, awesome. Good race, boys.
Good race. He's rebounding.
After 2 days of racing, we were none the wiser who had the upper hand.
Scorecard now, Emirates Team New Zealand 2, Luna Rossa 2.
It was nice. It was nice because you could feel the atmosphere here in Auckland. No? All the people start thinking and questioning who would have the fastest boat on the starting line. Of course, we had the same question in our mind too. And I think that's the beauty of the America's Cup, no?
They call Emirates Team New Zealand the team of 5 million. And it feels like most of that team have turned up to show their support.
About to complete the halfway stage in this 5th race of the America's Cup match in front of a magnificent spectator fleet, and it's all Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli at the moment.
As bad at predicting as we were, I think the finals actually kind of lived up to predictions in a way, because we predicted race rust, which the Kiwis had. We predicted a really sharp outfit with the Italians, which they had.
We're going to sail them off the course. They have every right to sail them off the course right now. Aggressive match racing by Luna Rossa.
Because they're sailing better than the Kiwis are right now, but man, oh man, it looks like it just kind of has this feeling that there's some jets that we haven't seen before, and these guys are going to figure it out.
A good spot to come back up here, Killer.
Yeah.
Pressure coming here in 3.
Has the breeze. Look at that. There's a right-hand shift, and it looks like Team New Zealand have taken the lead.
Emirates Team New Zealand are one step closer to winning the America's Cup.
A very wise man and a good friend of mine said once, imagine what a story would be if they lose from here.
It was always nice because he gave us believeness, no, in the fact, well, a dream could come in true.
And just when Emirates Team New Zealand needed to execute a good start, they've done the job.
What is really hurt the most is the fact we probably throw 2 races in the bin on the first 3 days. And that is really what make me unhappy. And no one knows what could happen if you're gonna be ahead 4-2 after 3 days. And because, pressure go completely in one way, with 5 million of people start to say, oh, well, this guy, they're not that good. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And that is the thing I will regret the most, because it's something which is there and it will stay there forever, unfortunately.